Seneca was worth $300 million and spent his life writing about why money doesn't help you. Hypocrite? Read what he actually said, and you'll see it's something far more dangerous. He was one of the richest men in Roman history, and his message wasn't, "be poor." It was about what money has over you, because the problem was never how much you have. The problem is the grip it holds when you're not looking. Money is the thing men think about most and talk about honestly the least. You'll tell someone about your health problems before you'll tell them your bank balance. You'll admit to relationship struggles before you'll admit that money keeps you up at night. And the stress cuts both ways. The man who doesn't have enough is terrified of falling further behind. The man who has more than enough is terrified of losing it. Both are prisoners, just in different cells. The Stoics had a fascinating relationship with money because they weren't monks. They didn't take vows of poverty. Seneca was wealthy. Marcus Aurelius controlled the treasury of the largest empire on earth. They moved in the real world with real financial pressures. But they developed principles for handling money that most financial advisors have never considered. Because these principles don't start with your bank account, they start with your mind. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Plain English. Having money isn't the issue. Letting money define you. Letting the pursuit of it consume your time, your peace, your identity. That's where it becomes a trap. Seneca never said wealth was evil. He said attachment to wealth was slavery. There's a massive difference. A man who has money and can walk away from it is free. A man who has money and is terrified of losing it is owned by it. And a man who has nothing but defines his entire self-worth by what he doesn't have is equally owned. The Stoic test for your relationship with money is simple. Imagine losing half of it tomorrow. Not all of it. Half. How does that thought feel? If it fills you with pure dread, if your identity would crack, if you genuinely don't know who you'd be without your income level, money owns you. You don't own it. Seneca practiced this. Despite his wealth, he would periodically live as if he were poor, eating simple food, wearing rough clothes, sleeping on a hard surface. Not as punishment, as training. He was reminding himself, I can live without all of this. Therefore, all of this cannot control me. The habit that breaks this. This week, go one full day spending nothing beyond absolute necessities. Not as a budget exercise, as a freedom exercise. Notice what happens to your mood. Notice what you reach for out of habit versus need. You're not testing your finances. You're testing your attachment. Seneca wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short. And we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it." Plain English. Most men don't work for money. They work for the lifestyle that signals success to others. And they trade years of their life, irreplaceable years, for things designed to impress people they don't even like. Here's the calculation most men never do. How many hours of your life did that car cost? Not the dollar amount, the hours. If you earned $40 an hour after taxes, and the car cost $40,000, you traded 1,000 hours of your finite life for it. Was it worth 1,000 hours? Was the upgrade from a reliable used car to a new one worth 6 months of your working life? Seneca watched Roman senators destroy themselves chasing status symbols. Bigger houses, more lavish parties, exotic imports. And they traded the only thing they couldn't get back, time, for things that impressed people for about 5 minutes. The Stoic financial philosophy is brutally simple. Use money to buy freedom, not status. Freedom means options. Freedom means being able to say no to work that degrades you. Freedom means having margin, financial breathing room, so that you're not one bad month from crisis. Status means other people think you're doing well. Freedom means you actually are. The habit that breaks this. Look at your 3 biggest monthly expenses beyond essentials. Ask honestly, am I paying for this because it improves my actual quality of life, or because it signals something to other people? If it's the second, that's a leak in your freedom. Fix it. Epictetus wrote, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Plain English, the man with fewer wants is richer than the man with more money. Not in some poetic sense, in the practical sense that his life requires less maintenance, less anxiety, and less compromise to sustain. The Stoics practiced something radical, voluntary financial discomfort, not poverty tourism. Strategic discomfort designed to reduce the power money had over them. Seneca would eat the cheapest food available for days at a time, and then ask himself, is this the condition I feared? The answer was always no. The simple life wasn't the nightmare his anxious mind had constructed. It was fine. It was more than fine. It was peaceful. This practice does 2 things. First, it removes the fear of financial loss. If you know, from experience, not theory, that you can live simply and still be okay, the threat of losing money loses its teeth. You make better decisions when you're not terrified. Second, it recalibrates your sense of enough. The hedonic treadmill means that no matter how much you earn, your baseline resets and you want more. Voluntary discomfort resets the baseline in the other direction. A simple meal after a week of simple meals tastes incredible. A warm bed after sleeping on the floor feels like luxury. You start appreciating what you already have, which is the fastest path to feeling wealthy that exists. The habit that breaks this: once a month, live 1 full weekend at minimum cost. Cook simple meals. Don't buy anything unnecessary. Don't go out for entertainment. Use what you already have. This isn't deprivation. This is the Stoic practice of testing yourself against the thing you fear. And you'll find, every time, that the fear was worse than the reality. Here's your Stoic money audit. Step 1. Write down your monthly income after taxes. Below it, write your non-negotiable expenses: rent, food, utilities, insurance. The gap between those 2 numbers is your freedom margin. Most men have never calculated this. Do it. Step 2. List everything you spent money on last month that was not a necessity. Not to shame yourself, to see clearly. How much went to convenience? How much went to status? How much went to emotional spending? Buying something because you were bored, stressed, or trying to feel something. Step 3. Ask the Stoic question for each non-essential expense. Did this purchase make my life genuinely better, or did it just fill a gap temporarily? Be honest. The honest answers will surprise you. Step 4. Redirect. Take even 10% of your non-essential spending and put it toward your freedom margin. An emergency fund, debt payoff, an investment in a skill. Money that buys you options, not objects. Do this for 3 months and watch how differently you feel about money. Not because you have more of it, but because it has less power over you. Seneca wasn't a hypocrite. He was a man who understood money better than most people alive today. He had enormous wealth and refused to let it define him. He could have lived lavishly and chased more. Instead, he practiced simplicity to stay free. The lesson isn't money is bad. The lesson is money is a tool. Like any tool, it serves you when you control it, and destroys you when it controls you. Most men never make the distinction. They spend their entire lives working for money without ever asking whether their relationship with it is making them free or making them a prisoner. You work hard. You earn. That's good. But the question the Stoics would ask you tonight is, are you using your money to build a life that matters, or are you using it to build an image that doesn't? Answer that honestly, and you'll know exactly what needs to change. If this helped you, hit subscribe and stay close. Drop a comment below. What hit hardest? I read every reply. We're building this together.